Okay, so to make a soft shackle, so what we need is some 2mm Dyneema, a knife, a chopping board, a fid. Now I haven't got a fid here, I'm just using a biro, and a little bit of sellotape. So the first thing that we're going to do is measure about 60 centimeters of this Dyneema, and then the next thing is we're going to bring the two ends together, and then from the loop here we're going to measure 15 centimeters, and then with a piece of sellotape we're just going to mark where that 15 centimeters is. And then from the edge of this tape on the board there up to 15, if we just push the Dyneema together, that's going to be where we start feeding the Dyneema through. So with this end here we need to attach this to the fid. Now like I said before, I haven't got a fid small enough for this Dyneema, so what I've got here is an old biro tube, and I'm just going to feed the tip of the Dyneema into that biro tube. It doesn't go all the way, so I'm just going to secure it with a bit of sellotape. So here we go. So we've bulged out the Dyneema where we're going to thread the fid through. So just between the thread I'm going to start feeding the biro tube through, making sure that it's in the middle of all of the threads, and that will start to feed through. There we go. And then I'm just pushing that up the biro and feeding it through. You still need to keep it quite loose, because if not it'll bite onto the fid. I'm feeding it up and pushing down. And I'm feeding this all the way down the Dyneema until that's going to come out right by the sellotape. So we're nearly there. And then I'm just going to feed that through. Careful not to get stuck on any of the threads. There we go. I'm keeping that loose. I'm just going to feed that through, and once that's all out we can just pull that through. And what I generally tend to do is just through the loop, just put the fid, pull that tight, and then just extend all of that. So that's going to be our soft shackle. So then the only other thing that we need to do is, through the line that we have just passed that through, is we just need to pass it through one more time just to tighten it all off. So just by squeezing it all together, make it all loose, we're just going to pass through there. And then on the end here, with these two ends here, we're just going to make a diamond knot. So the first thing we're going to do to make the diamond knot is pass one leg over the other leg, and then we're then going to loop this leg and pass that over the first leg, and then it's this hole in the middle that we're going to be used to work. Then what we're going to do is take this leg here, pass it under the other leg, and then through the first hole here and out through the other hole here. Now the next thing we're going to do now is, if you put one finger in the hole and then just holding on to the sides, just start to pull the knot tight. You might need to feed some pieces around until you start to work it all tight. This isn't the finished knot, but we're starting it off. So what this is doing is, this is tightening up the knot and just preparing for the second part of the knot. Right, so once we've got the knot like so, what we're going to do now is, with this leg here, I'm going to pass this around the bottom leg, and I'm now going to feed this up through the centre, and then the same with the other leg. Feed that round and then feed it up through the middle. And now what we need to do is just work all of the ends all the way through to get them tight. And then we'll just tighten that up just by rolling the knot and pulling the leading legs. And there we have it. That's our diamond knot. So the next step is just to cut off those two ends, and there we have it. So now all we need to do is just open the shackle, feed the knot through the shackle, and then just tighten up. Right, so there we have it. That's a soft shackle. So the first time you make the soft shackle, it's highly possible that you're going to screw up the diamond knot. I remember when I first started these, I couldn't get the diamond knots properly, but there we go. Bit of practice and you got those there. So what we're going to look at now is we're going to do the same thing again, but on a bigger scale. And then this is going to be a prusik come soft shackle. So let's take a look at how we do this. Right, to make the largest soft shackle, we need about 1.50 meters of the dyneema. So I'm just going to measure this out. That's roughly about 1.50 meters. So we'll cut that off, and then what we'll do is we'll just bring the line together here, and then we'll just squeeze that up so we know where that is. Now at the far end here, we need about 20 centimeters, and that's where we're going to work the diamond knot. So I'm just going to mark that a piece of tape there, and then up at this end here where we've just bent that over, I'm just going to squeeze that. So that's basically where we're going to start the fid, and then we're going to run that all the way down this piece here until we come to that. So now what we need to do is we basically just need to put this piece of the dyneema into the fid. Like I said before, I haven't actually got a fid small enough, so I'm just using this biro, and then we're then going to start to feed that through, the same as what we did with the other soft shackle. So then just feed this all the way down until it comes out at the end where you've marked with a tape. Alright, so we'll just pull that out, and then with the loop at this end, I'm just going to pull that through, and I'm just going to hold that in place, and then just pull that tight, and I'm just going to pass that through. So there we go. So there's our two ends that we've got to make our diamond knot now. So there we go. So that's our large soft shackle that we're going to use as a prusik to adjust the tension on the tart.